नमो विष्णुष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् ते नामने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचरणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So yesterday we saw Jambhudvipa with its various divisions known as Varshas. Dvipa is basically a tract of land between two water bodies. Varsha is a tract of land between two mountains, or at least at the foothill of one mountain. If, for example, if you take, it is between these two mountains. Ramaka is between these two mountains. Remaining all between mountains. But in these four, Kuru Varsha, Ketumala Varsha, Bhadrashva, and Bharata, one side there is ocean. One side mountain is there, another side ocean is there. So still in any case, we like the foothill of the mountain. It is located at the foot of the mountain. That's why it is also called Varsha.
And the other is?
Dvipa. Dvipa is the tract of land between two water bodies.
So there is, then why Ilavrata is called as Varsha?
Between mountains, na?
द्वीपा, ये जम्बू द्वीपा है तो उसके बाजू बाजू
ये सब द्वीपा है.
ये वर्षा है मतलब?
वर्षा मतलब that area between mountains. Generally, Varsha means area between two mountains. This Ramik Varsha is between two mountains. This is between two mountains. But for Bharata Varsha and Kuru Varsha, there is no second mountain. Only one mountain is there. But still, that is also considered to be Varsha. So in that way. So these divisions we saw, and then Bhagavatam goes into elaboration about Ilavrta Varsha. It explains more in detail the Ilavrta Varsha. Why it is explaining Ilavrta Varsha in more detail, we will understand the 17th chapter, next chapter. On the four sides of the great mountain known as Sumeru are four mountains: Mandara, Meru Mandara, Suparshva, and Kumada. So it's basically within Ilavrta Varsha there is Mount Meru, and surrounding Mount Meru there are four mountains. They are known as Mandara, Meru Mandara, Suparshva, and Kumada, which are supporting mountains. The length and height of these mountains are calculated to be 10,000 yojanas. The length of the mountains is also 10,000, height also 10,000. Width is 2,000. The length and height of the supporting mountains is 10,000 yojanas, since they act as the support of Meru in the center. The mountains on the east and west side of Meru runs south and north in length, and the mountains on the north and south run east and west. If each mountain was 10,000 yojanas wide, Ilavrta would disappear, since it is only 9,000 yojanas on either side of Meru. This would contradict the descriptions in SB 5:16:16 later on, stating that the juice cascades from the Mandara mountain waterfalls becomes a river called Arunoda, which flows pleasantly through the eastern side of Ilavrta. So basically, see, it is talking about these four mountains: this mountain, this mountain, this mountain, this mountain. From the Mount Meru to Gandhamadana, this is only year to year 9,000 only. Year to year 9,000. Year to year 9,000. Year to year 9,000. Bhagavatam tells that there are four mountains in four directions of Meru, and their height and length is 10,000 yojanas. Width is not mentioned. So one may say, length
is 10,000.
Length is from here to here 10,000. Height is from here to here 10,000. The width, the thickness is not mentioned. So one may say thickness also should be 10,000. If it is 10,000, it cannot be, because Mount Meru border to Gandhamadana here to here itself with 9,000 yojanas. So how a 10,000 yojana wide mountain can be there in a land which is 9,000 yojanas only? It cannot be. So the width should be 2,000 yojanas. Like all other mountains are of 2,000 yojanas. So this mountain also should be 2,000 yojanas. That's why it is not mentioned. Like that Acharyas are explaining. So the width of these mountains, four mountains, is 2,000 yojanas. So like that.
And what is those lands called as? Is there any specific name?
Which lands?
The land which is between the Sumeru and between that there is one more mountain. We haven't named yet.
That is all Ilavrita only.
Hmm.
In between land, this entire thing before the mountains could be there, everything is Ilavrita only. Within Ilavrita, there are so many mountains. Within Maharashtra, there are so many mountains. Sayadri mountain, this mountain, that mountain. So you can't say a mountain is of Maharashtra, this taraf is something, some other thing. Everything is Maharashtra only. There could be mountains in between here and there.
What is this dot?
अभी रुको ना, मैं पहले पिक्चर दिखा रहा हूँ आपको, बाद में आएगा. Vistara here means length. They spread out in 4 directions. Chaturdisham. Then, standing like flagstaffs on the summit of these 4 mountains, starting with Mandara, are 4 trees. 4 huge trees are there. The first one is mango tree. Second one is rose apple tree or jambu tree. Third one is kadamba tree. And the fourth one is banyan tree. There are 4 mountains. On top of these 4 mountains, there are 4 trees. These trees are calculated to have a width of 100 yojanas. 100 yojanas is the width of the trunk. Trunk of the tree is of wide of 100 yojanas. 100 yojanas is 1300 kilometers. Bombay to Vijayawada, Central India. And they have a height of 1100 yojanas. The height of the trunk and all the branches, 1100 yojanas. And their branches also spread out for a length of 1100 yojanas. From the trunk, the branches go to a distance of 1100 yojanas. They are the dimensions of the tree, which are there on the top of the mountain. The mountain height is 10,000 yojanas. The tree height is 1100 yojanas. The mountain width is 2000 yojanas. The tree branches, this side they are going 1100 yojanas, this side they are going 1100 yojanas. That means the branches spread a wide width of
2200.
more than the mountain width. So like that.
With an assumption the 2000 is the
Assumption nahi, it will be 2000 only.
okay.
The height is over 1000, measuring 1100 yojanas, and their branches spread out that length. The width of the trunk of the tree is 100 yojanas. Then, O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Bharata dynasty, on these 4 mountains are 4 huge lakes. At the base of the mountains, there are 4 lakes. They are filled with milk, honey, sugar juice, and pure water, respectively. The celestial beings, such as the Siddha, Charanas, and Gandharvas, who use those waters, naturally possesses perfections of mystic yoga. Siddhacharana, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Kinnaras, Kimpusha, they come to these lakes and bathe. They naturally have mystic powers, and by bathing in these lakes, their mystic powers will increase. That is the greatness of these lakes. There are also 4 celestial gardens named Nandana Garden, Chitraratha, Vibrajata, and Sarotobhadra. So on top of the 4 mountains, there are 4 trees. At the base of the 4 mountains, there are 4 gardens and 4 lakes. So like that. Groups of best of the devatas, along with their beautiful wives, enjoy within those gardens, while their glories are sung by the Upadevatas. So the main devatas come here for sporting purpose with their wives, and their the sub-devatas, the Upadevatas will glorify their wonderful activities while they are sporting. So this is Ilavrita Varsha. This is all square type Ilavrita Varsha. In the middle there is Mount Meru. The total width of Ilavrita Varsha from here to here is 34,000 yojanas. From here to here, 34,000 yojanas. Mount Meru is of 16,000 yojanas. And 4 sides of the Mount Meru are pairs of 4 mountains, which will come in the next shloka. Later on will come. These are the 4 mountains about which the previous verse is talking about. Mandara, Meru Mandara, Suparshva, Kumada. On top of these 4 mountains, there are 4 trees. And surrounding there are 20 Kesharachala mountains. That will also come in one of the future verses.
Meru mountain is made up of gold, Prabhu.
Ah, yes, Prabhu. That's why it is golden color. Aapko chahiye kya? Thoda gold. On the lower slopes of Mandara mountain is a mango tree named Devachuta. On the lower slopes of Mandara mountain, on top of the Mandara mountain, there is a mango tree. Its name is Devachuta, whose height is 1100 yojanas. This tree has mangoes as big as the mountain peaks. One mango is as big as the mountain peaks and as sweet as the nectar.
Yojanas.
Yeah.
Mountain peaks. The height
Peaks
of the
मतलब
mountain.
ऊपर जो
Height
peak-
of the mountain 10,000 yojanas, Baba.
peak मतलब ऊपर वाला portion.
Then 10,000 yojanas.
Mountain peak मतलब जो भी mountain आप देखते हैं ना, इतना huge. That is only, it is not figurative, not exact. It is as big as like that. Very huge boulder like that. And as sweet as nectar fall from the top of the tree. When that mango, which is as big as the mountain peak, when falls from the top of the tree, what happens? The size of the fruit is mentioned in the Vayu Purana. What does it say? The sages, seers of truth, say that the dimension of that fruit is 861 aratnis. One aratni is equal to 1.5 feet. That is about 1290 feet or around 430 meters. The size of one mango fruit is 430 meters, almost half kilometer. That is the peak of the mountain. Half kilometer. देखा क्या कभी जीवन में half kilometer का mango fruit. So now interesting thing.
आकाश पुष्प है.
See, the river named Arunoda, filled with reddish liquid, fragrant and very sweet, mixed with other scents, arising from broken ripe mangoes, falls from the peak of Mandara mountain and flows into Ilavrta on the eastern side. When these mango fruits, which is about half kilometer wide, falls on the top of the tree, how much is the height? 10,000 yojanas is the mountain, 1,100 yojanas is the tree. 10,000 plus 1,000, 11,000 yojanas. उतना ऊपर से जब गिरेगा, it breaks open and the juice flows like the river. That river is called as Arunoda river. Arunoda because mango juice is reddish in color. Early morning sun is also reddish in color. So in that way. The mangoes have their natural scent mixed with other fragrances as well. From drinking the water of the river Arunoda, from drinking this mango juice, okay, the bodies of the maid servants of Shiva's wife. In Nilavata Lord Shiva resides, he is served by Bhavani, Bhavani is served by so many extra ladies. When those extra ladies drink this mango juice, who are the wives of the extras, they become fragrant. And the wind, fragrant from touching their bodies, perfume the entire atmosphere for 10 yojanas around. That is about Arunoda river. When the fruit falls down, it transforms into a tree. The ladies drink the nectar and their body becomes fragrant. The wind touching their bodies and when it is going ahead, it carries the fragrance for 10 yojanas distance. That means 130 kilometers. The fragrance goes.
Fragrance of the body or river?
Fragrance of the body. Of the ladies who became fragrant by drinking the juice.
They are coming from the neighboring Varsha.
They are there only in the Nilavata Varsha. The ladies will be there in Nilavata Varsha only. It will come in the next chapter. There are.
said Ketumala Varsha.
Kaun
Lord
bola?
Shiva and Bhavani are there.
No, Ilavrta Varsha. Ilavrta
में
Varsha.
कैलाश पर्वत है.
Ah, Ilavrta Varsha also on Kailash mountain is there.
वो
Lord Shiva is there in the Ilavrta Varsha. He is the only male person. He will, he will be served by Bhavani and millions of other female ladies. So when they drink the juice, their body becomes fragrant. That fragrance goes to a distance of 10 yojanas.
the description where in the last Pentukim where in the castle that Lord Shiva is sitting and under a big banyan tree. वो it is
It will be in the greater Himalayas. Bharata Varsha, just above Bharata Varsha, there is Himalayas, na? There it will be.
okay. So वहाँ पे एक this is Greater Himalayas in भारतवर्ष. So and Kailash mountain is in Ilavarta.
You don't analyze so much here and there. You be patient. Later on, everything will be revealed. What we are discussing now, focus on that. There are 11 Rudras. They stay at 11 places. One of the 11 Rudras stay in the Ilavarta where there is one Kailash mountain. In the greater Himalayas also, there is another Kailash mountain. There also one more 11 Rudras will stay. But one among the 11 Rudras will stay. And that one, both of them are called Shiva. Because we only know Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. So there, who is staying in the Himalayas, he stays along with Parvati. Their son is Ganesh and Kartikeya. The Shiva who stays in Ilavarta is known as, his wife's name is Bhavani. And they were served by millions of Yaksha ladies. If somebody enters into this area unknowingly, they will become female. That happens in the Ilavarta. Yes.
The 8th canto, the description of the son of Harishchandra, some king, he goes and he becomes female.
That is not 8th canto, 9th canto, first chapter. Son of Shratadeva, Sudyumna. He goes to this place only, he becomes female. That comes in 17th chapter. It will be mentioned there. Okay. So just focus on the current thing. Don't run here and there. It will not doubt. It is too much analysis. Ye.
After you complete the description, real process.
After that, you process. So there is mango tree on top of Mandara mountain. When that falls down, that mango fruit, it is about 1/2 kilometer size. When that falls down, it creates a mango juice river that is called Arnoda. Those who drink that river, that juice, their body becomes fragrant. With the fragrance goes to a distance of 10 yojanas. Now, the second Meru Mandara mountain. On top of that, mountain, there is a jambu tree. Jambu tree has jamun fruits. The jamun fruits also, they are very big. And they are as big as elephants. When those jamun fruits fall down, they also break open and flow like a river. And that river is called as Jambunadi river. Okay? And that river flows throughout the entire area of the southern side of Ilavarta. Having very small seeds in the south side. The river flows, increasing its length to the size of Ilavarta. This means it flows for 9,000 yojanas. Throughout the south side of Ilavarta, this jamun juice river is there. In the eastern side, mango juice river is there. Then you go to west side. Then what happens? Okay, now still that jamun tree only, jamun juice. When the jamun juice is going in the Ilavarta Varsha here and there, in the southern side, the mud on both the banks of the river of Jambunadi, being moistened by the flowing juice, by a reaction with the air and the sunshine, produces huge quantities of gold called Jambunada. When the surrounded by mud or sand, when it is moistened by the juice and dried by the sunlight and wind, that sand becomes gold.
It becomes gold, or it has the ability to produce gold.
It becomes gold. The sand turns into gold. Yeah. The sand or mud is moistened by the juice and dried by sunlight and wind. It transforms into gold, a kind of chemical reaction, which the devatas use for ornaments. The people who are living in this area, they use this gold for making ornaments and wearing. All the devatas and their youthful wives wear this gold in the form of golden crowns, bangles, and bells. Mukuta, Kataka, Kati, Sutradi, Avarana Rupena.
In unlimited quantity
of gold is there. Every day new river comes and new gold forms. As much as you take, that much gold getting formed always. Only should think that you should make sure that there is a lot of sand. जितना sand है उतना gold आएगा. The mud of the entire banks mixed with the juice of the jambu fruits and dried by the air and sunlight becomes gold called Jambunada gold. From rivers of honey. So then the third mountain, there is this Kadamba tree, which will have lot of honeycombs. When the honeycombs are so filled with honey, the honey drips down and flows like streams of honey. 5 rivers of honey, each about 5 yamas wide, which flows from the hollows of the tree called Mahakadamba, growing on Suparsha mountain, fall from the top of Suparsha mountain in the western direction, and also gives pleasure to itself. To itself and the whole of Ilavrata Varsha. So in that way. Basically there are 5 honey streams. Ayama means a vyama. A vyama is the space produced by extending the 2 arms and the fingers. The width of each river is about 5 yamas. 5 into 1.5 meters. From here to here is 1.5 meters. 5 into 1.5 meters is 75 meters. 7.5 meters is the width of the stream, honey stream. Like that, there are 5 streams. How much honey might be coming every now and then? Unlimited honey. So now, the air carrying the scent from the mouths of those who drink this honey perfume the land for 100 yojanas around. This honey is not ordinary honey. If somebody drinks this honey, from their mouth, the fragrance goes to the distance of 100 yojanas. So it's like that. Similarly, on Kumuda mountain, the 4th mountain, there is a great banyan tree, Shatavalsa or banyan tree, which is called Shatavalsa. Shatavalsa means 1,000 rooted banyan tree. 1,000 roots are there. Flowing down from its branches are many rivers, filling all desires, such as milk, yogurt. So this Shatavalsa tree has 100 roots. From every root there comes one branch. One branch of one stream has milk. One stream has yogurt. One stream has honey. One stream has ghee. One stream has molasses. One stream has food, clothing, bedding, seeds, and ornaments. These rivers flowing down from the top of the mountain to the northern side of the Ilavrata Varsha gives happiness to Ilavrata. So this is the most important thing. Everything one needs for sustenance in this material world is naturally available in the form of streams only. Do we get milk like stream, yogurt like stream, honey like stream, ghee like stream, molasses like stream, food like stream, clothing like stream, bedding like stream? Do we get anything like this here? But in Ilavrata Varta, everything is available like that.
Bedding like stream means?
Maybe say there could be some liquid. To take out the liquid and dry it, it becomes bedding, soft bedding, rubber. Soft bedding.
For all the other previous streams, they have described the source and how it actually comes is described. In this also, it's going to come that way.
They are coming from the banyan tree only. Banyan tree roots flowing down from its branches. Shatavalsa means 100 branched tree or 100 rooted tree. Either it could be branch or it could be root. Skandebhya, branch. What kind of branch? The secondary root comes now, na? That is also a branch only. Shatavalsa means 7 branches or 100 branches. Nichina means downward. The residents of the material world who enjoy the products of these flowing rivers have no suffering, such as wrinkles, grey hair, fatigue, foul-smelling perspiration, old age, disease, untimely death, cold, heat, loss of luster, or troubles. They all live to their whole life with unlimited happiness. In Ilavrta Varsha, because of the presence of all these wonderful things, there is mango juice river, jamun juice river, honey river, and there are rivers of all other wonderful things that are required for a one person to sustain. By all these things, the residents of this place have no suffering, such as the daily problems of the body.
The lifespan.
Lifespan, next chapter will come.
That will be like Devata's lifespan.
Next chapter. You have to wait till next chapter. There are 20 other mountains beautifully arranged around the foot of Mount Meru, like the filaments around the orl of a lotus flower. So there are 20 mountains beautifully arranged around the foot of the mountain, like the filaments around the orl of a lotus flower. Their names are Kuranga, Kurara, Kushumba, Vaikanta, Trikuta, Shishira, Patanga, Ruchaka, Nishada, Srinivasa, Kapila, Shanka, Vaidhurya, Jarudi, Hamsa, Rushaba, Naga, Kalanjara, and Narada. These are the different names of the 25 mountains. On the eastern side of Mount Meru, there are two mountains named Jatara and Devakuta, which extends to north and south for a distance of 18,000 yojanas. Two mountains put to 18,000 yojanas. One mountain is 9,000 yojanas. This is the length of the two mountains in the eastern side from north to south. Similarly, on the western side of Sumeru, there are two mountains named Pavana, Pariyartha, which also extend north and south for the same distance. On the southern side of Mount Meru, there are two mountains, Kailasha, Karavira.
9,000.
9,000 each. Both combined to the 18,000.
That is the length.
Length of the two mountains is 18,000.
That picture is going to come.
Which extend east and west for 18,000 yojanas. And in the northern side of Sumeru, extending for the same distance east and west, are two mountains named Tushunga and Makara. The width and height of these mountains is 10,000 yojanas each. Sumeru, a mountain of solid gold, surrounded by these 8 mountains, shines like the fire. See, you see what we studied till now. First, there is Mount Meru. On 4 sides, there are 4 mountains. On top of these 4 mountains, there are 4 trees. This is a mango tree, jamun tree, kadamba tree, and banyan tree. At the base of this mountain, there is a garden and lake, garden lake, garden lake, garden lake. This lake is filled with milk. This lake is filled with honey. This is filled with sugarcane juice. This is filled with pure water. This garden name is Nandana. This is Chitarata, Viprajata, Sarvatobhadra. And Devatas come to this place and enjoy. Next, when the mango fruit falls down, it flows like Anuradha river. When jamun fruit falls down, it flows like Anuradha, the Jambhudvipa river. But on the bank of these river, both the sides, when the sand moistened by the river, dried by sunlight and wind, it becomes into gold. Here there is Ani river. There are 5 Ani streams. Each stream is about 7.5 meters, continuously flowing Ani. And there is banyan tree. From the roots of the banyan tree comes multiple streams. So one stream will have milk, yogurt, honey, ghee, like that. It's all wonderful things are there. These are the 20 Kesharachala mountain, which are surrounding, whose height is as high as Mount Meru. These mountains are 10,000 yojanas in height. These 20 mountains are as high as Mount Meru, about 84,000 yojanas. Wow. Then inside there are two mountains in each side.
What is the width of that?
Which width?
height is 20, as height as the Sumeru, 84,000 yojanas. Now, what is the width?
Width we don't know. No mention of width. Maybe they must be small. Width might be
And length?
small. Length also small because actually they are pencil like mountains. I'll show next slide how they will be. They are not exactly like this length like this, but they are actually like the dot which the cursor is there, right? Like that. They are like pencil like mountain. They're going like the filament of a lotus flower. So these are the 8 mountains about which it is mentioned in the previous verse. Jatra, Devakuta, Pavana, Pariyartha, Trishunga, Makara, and Okaila, Karavir and Kailasha.
These
Here-
dimensions are there.
Here in this area, when somebody enters, they will become female. This is year to year 16. And year to year it is 18. Because both the mountain compared to there is supposed to be 18.
It is understood that 2,000 yojanas is the default understanding.
This is 2000 yojanas, this is 2000 yojanas. This will be small only. It won't be 2000 yojanas.
Hmm.
With all these mountains, especially the 8 mountains which are there in 4 directions, 2 to each, Ashtabir Pariteta Paristito, Agnir Iva, Paritas Chakasti Kanchanagiri. The Meru mountain with these all set of mountains appears to be like Yajnakund.
Hmm.
So this is another picture with all individual mountains. So its length is 10,000 from here to 10,000. Here to here 9,000, here to here 9,000. So it is total 18,000. The mountain is 16,000. So here to here 1,000, here to here 1,000, like that 18,000. These are the pencil mountain, 20 pencil mountain. They are like this only, not exactly like the previous one. So these are the pencil mountains.
Hmm. Very nice.
So these are the 4
Beautiful
mountains
place.
on top of which there are 4 trees.
Where 24 trees?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 mountains. They are 10,000 yojanas in height. And here the mountains are there, na? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 2,000 yojanas in height.
Hmm.
These are the 20 Kesharachal mountain. इधर से चालू होता है, ऊपर से जाता है.
And where will it actually converge? Will it converge or will it be actually simply free floating?
What has to converge?
These 20 Kesharachal.
They are like the pencil type of mountain. The
And-
orl in the lotus flower. That orl, that stems in the orl. So like filaments in the orl. They will be like that only. They don't converge anywhere. These are different images.
It will really disturb the physicists.
Hmm?
It will really disturb the physicists.
Why? So they will be like that. Later on, we'll see why they will be like that. Because these 4 mountains are there, na? Where the plant trees are there. They are made up of gold.
Which trees?
There is
Okay,
only the
these
4
four
mountains
trees.
only.
Okay.
They are made up of 4 gold. And these 8 mountains are made up of silver.
Mhm.
These 20 Kesharachal mountains are made up of diamond. So diamond and mountain will be intact. Even though it like pencil like, it will remain intact. It will not break or bend. So they are made up of diamond.
Full diamond.
Full diamond. चाहिए.
Diamond हमको कैसे और एक सर्टिफिकेट के लिए consider as a still diamond.
In the middle of the summit of Meru. Now, here if you see, the Mount Meru is very big, na? On top of Mount Meru. Here it is 16,000, 32,000. On top of the Mount Meru, on the summit of Mount Meru, in the middle, is the place known as the township known as the township of Lord Brahma. Each of its 4 sides is calculated to be extended for many thousand yojanas. It is made entirely of gold, and therefore learned scholars and sages call it as Shatakumbi. So, as you go to the top of Mount Meru, in the middle there is a township of Brahma. And that township dimensions are 10,000 yojanas each. The total diameter of the Mount Meru is 32,000. In the middle there is a township 10,000 like this, 10,000 like this. So 10,000 by 10,000 square. Ayuta could mean many in this case. Thus it will be 10,000 yojanas. Ayuta yojana sahasram. Sahasra is 1,000. Ayuta yojana means, Ayuta sahasra yojana means many thousand yojanas. But you cannot take more than 10,000. If you take anything more than that, it will go out. Surrounding Brahmapuri in all directions.
That is how Acharya is coming from.
Surrounding Brahmapuri in all directions are the residences of the 8 principal governors of the directions. Beginning with King Indra, these abodes are similar to Brahmapuri, are 1/4 in size. These cities are in the direction starting from the east, each with their particular deities such as Indra and their corresponding color. Their size is 2,500 yojanas. Their names are understood from the Puranas. On the Meru, there are 9 cities named Manavati. Manavati belongs to Brahma. Then Amaravati, which belongs to Indra. Tejavati belongs to Agni, fire. Samyamani belongs to Yama. Krishnangana belongs to Nairuti. Shraddhavati belongs to Varuna. Gandharva belongs to, I don't know. Mahodaya belongs to Soma.
Gandhavati belongs to whom?
It will come. Indra, Agni, Yama, Niruti, Varuna, Vayu. Gandhavati belongs to Vayu. Gandha and Vayu. Okay, and next one is Mahodaya belongs to Kuvera. Yashovati belongs to Lord Shiva. And Brahma is in the middle. I'll show you. This is the Mount Meru about which we discussed. On the top of the Mount Meru. Here. On top of the Mount Meru. ऊपर देखेगा तो ये दिखेगा ऐसा राउंड रहेगा ना, this is round mountain.
Top view में.
top view. This is top view. This is front view.
And in the middle of this thing, of this height, location of this is there.
On the top of the mountain, in the middle, I showed the picture. On top of the mountain, in the middle, this is the Brahma's abode, whose dimensions are 10,000 by 10,000. Surrounding it, 8 Devatas mountains locations are there. They are 2,000 by 2,500 each. 2,500 by 2,500. I'll show you the image. Rectangle 9 square.
2,000 by
2,500 by 2,500. You see, 2.5 by 2.5 thousand. These Devatas abodes. Brahma's is 10,000 by 10,000. And Lord Brahma uses this Manavati abode for conducting off-yearly GBC meetings. Any universal management related meetings he has to conduct, he will come here, he will limit all the Devatas. They all come here, spend some time, and then they conduct meetings, what to do, how to improve the status of the universe, how to tackle the asuras, etc. All the meetings happen here only.
So Brahmaji is basically only
Brahma stays in Satyaloka.
Satyaloka.
This is a half-yearly GBC meeting place.
So they have their own offices like this. Each.
They have their own bungalows. They live, and evening, morning they spend time with the family members. Afternoon time they meet.
These are not like abodes. This is only a place.
These are basically called as townships. Recreation center, GV. People work hard in Mumbai and once in a while go to GV for recreation.
This is office or recreation?
Recreation come office. कभी retreat गए ना लगता है? Retreat. Retreat is meant for recreation always as inspiration. So, because they are the manager, they discuss for management. So like that. The 9 abodes on top of Meru belonging to 9 different devatas. From here to here it will be 32,000. Here to your 10,000. Here to your 2.5. Here 2.5. 2.5 plus 2.5 10. 15. 15 occupied by places and remaining 17 will be empty space in between. So like that.
7 is
What 7? This is 10. This is 2.5, 2.5, 5. 15.
17.
32 minus 15 is 17. 17 the remaining place. These are the townships of the different devatas. So like that, the entire Jambhudvipa has been presented in the chapter 16. Any questions? Any questions? So this is the top view. This is the side view. When you see from the side, these are the townships on top of the Mount Meru. Brahma is in the middle and remaining devatas are on the sides. So now, having said what are the different divisions in Jambhudvipa, there are basically 9 varshas, 9 mountains are mentioned within Jambhudvipa. Of the 9 varshas, the centralmost varsha is Lavrta Varsha. Within Lavrta Varsha, there are two mountains in each side of 2000 yojanas in height, followed by 4 mountains, one mountain in each side, 10,000 yojanas in height. On top of which there are 4 trees. Mango tree creates Arunoda river. Jambu tree creates Jambunoda river. And Kadamba tree creates Honey river. And Chatavalsa tree creates the rivers of milk, yogurt, ghee, molasses, like that, everything that is needed for people. So everything is naturally available in this particular place. They don't have to go here and there. Everything is abundantly available.
So for example, it's a place of they don't have karma duties, anything. The residents there.
That we will discuss in the 17th chapter. After 10th verse. There it will come. More details. And then our chapter also talked about there is Afus. In addition to these 4 mountains, there are 20 mountains, 20 filament mountains, which are very small, going from bottom to the top. And all these mountains acting like support for Mount Meru. Mount Meru is like this. Okay. At the base it is 16 or the top to 32. So the innermost mountains are 2000 yojanas in height. Then next mountains 10,000 yojanas. The next mountains are 80,000 yojanas. So which are like as high as Mount Meru. So all these 3 mountains are acting like the support for the Mount Meru. Wherever they are.
Which 3 mountains?
There are two mountains surrounding Mount Meru. Their height is 2000 yojanas. Then there are 4 mountains upon which there are 4 trees. They are 10,000 yojanas. Then there are 10 to 20 Kesharachala mountains. Their height is about 84,000 yojanas. These 3 set of mountains will act like the support for the Mount Meru.
But they are not actually converging.
They are not touching the Mount Meru, but they just act through some subtle energy. They are supporting. Generally, mountain is like this, but these mountains are like this. It is very big, na? Thoda idhar ghumega to niche गिर जाएगा. So like that, these are supporting.
So Mount Meru ऐसा है, और height ऐसा करके आखिरी जो mountain है, the 20, वो
they are as high as Mount Meru. They are almost touching the peaks of the Meru.
तो मतलब छोटे-छोटे ऐसा उनका height कम.
So now in the 17th chapter, Bhagavatam describes the descent of Ganga to Jambhudvipa, because Ganga also flows through different verses of Jambhudvipa. That's why the Ganga description is coming here. And then the happiness of Bhauma-svarga and the service of Lords Angarshana and Rudra. That is mentioned in the chapter 17. This is the chapter breakup. 1 to 10 talks about the descent and glorious path of Ganga. 11 to 14 talks about description of the 8 heavenly varshas. 15 to 24 talks about Lord Shiva's meditation of Lord Sankarshan. When the Lord appeared as Vamana and stepped over the Bhumandala with his right foot. So Lord Vamana became Trivikrama. With his right foot, he occupied the entire Bhumandala. And the water which entered from outside by piercing the covering of the universe with the big toe of his left foot. With the right foot, he covered the Bhumandala. With the left foot, he covered the upper planetary systems. Bhuvarloka, Bhuvarloka, Svargaloka, Maharloka, Janloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. And then the tonal is increasing. It hits the universal shell. Then there is a crack. The causal ocean, which was outside the universe, entered into the universe. Okay? By piercing the covering of the universe, the water which entered from the outside, by piercing the covering of the universe with the big toe of his left foot, tinted red from the color of Lord's feet and Kunkuma. When the water came in, it touched the feet of Lord Vishnu, Lord Trivikrama. It became reddish because Lord's lotus feet was covered with lot of Kunkuma. The entire river became reddish. Coming from the waters that washed these lotus feet. So when the water comes down, it falls on the lotus feet. It became washed it became the wash water of the Trivikrama. And it is also said that Lord Brahma, who was there in the Satyaloka, he collected that water in his Kamandalu. And the same water he did the Abhishek of Lord's lotus feet. Because of that Abhishek, the Kunkuma on the feet of Lord's lotus feet touched with the water, mixed with the water became reddish. And since this water has entered into our universe because of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, it became known as Bhagavat Padi. From the feet of Bhagavan, the water entered into our universe. This river became known as Bhagavat Padi. So coming from the water that washed his lotus feet, which purifies by its touch all sins of the world, but remains pure, not known by any other name, was called Bhagavat Padi, water coming from the foot of the Lord. It just entered from outside of the universe into your universe, and Brahma collected the water and did Abhishek of the Lord lotus feet. Then it became reddish in color. Since it entered into the universe by the lotus feet of the Lord, it is the foot wash water of the Lord. It became known as Bhagavat Padi. Then it is going from there, passing through Janaloka, Tapaloka, Maharloka. Then it comes to Dhruvaloka. One by one, down. After a long time, 1,000 yugas, the river descended to Dhruvaloka, which then became known as Vishnupada, the abode of Vishnu. Dhruvaloka is the abode of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. It is known as Vishnupada, abode of Lord Vishnu. And the water which, after passing through Dhruva, became known as Vishnupadi. After washing Lord Trivikrama's lotus feet, it became known as Bhagavatpadi. After passing through the abode of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, that is currently we are calling the Dhruvaloka, it became known as Bhagavatpadi.
Is there any picture that?
Wait, I'll show you the picture. First, focus on the text. After describing the splendor of the mountains surrounding Sumeru like filaments, Sukadeva Goswami now described the very long stream of Ganga, the crest jewel of all splendors, by relating how Ganga made her appearance. Generally, the figures come after 2-3 slokas. The information of 2-3 slokas combined together will come in one figure. So for every one sloka, we cannot have the figure. So in that way. At the time of Lord Vamana's Avatara, by stepping over the Bhumandala with his right foot and from throwing his left foot into the air, he causes all places up to the top of the universe, all the way up to Satyaloka, to tremble. Up to the layer of Prakriti, the 8th layer, where the gunas are pacified, as related by Brahma. Lord Brahma talks about it in 3274. Basically, the toenail pierces the 7 layers of the universe and also pierces the 8th layer, which is made up of Pradhana. Thus, the spiritual stem of water of the Karana ocean, situated outside the 8th layer of the universe, descended to Dhruvaloka, Daiva Murdhini. Entering into our universe, passing through Satyaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, Maharloka, and then coming to Dhruvaloka, after passing through all the upper lokas. The water was colored red from the Kunkuma and the red color of the lotus feet of the Lord, arising from the water used to wash the Lord's lotus feet. The touch of this water destroyed the contamination of sin, but the water remains pure. It removes our contamination, but it remains pure. It was called by the name Bhagavat Padi because at that time it was not known by any other names such as Bhagirathi and Jahnavi. Bhagirathi Jahnavi comes later on. It then fell onto Dhruvaloka, which became known as Vishnupada. Dhruvaloka is Vishnupada. That water became known as Vishnupadi, which passing through the abode of Lord Vishnu. So then what happened after reaching Dhruvaloka? What happened? On Dhruvaloka, Dhruva Maharaj, the famous son of Maharaj Uttanapada, known as an exalted devotee of the Supreme Lord, because of his firm determination in executing devotional service, whose heart is softened with Bhakti Yoga, increasing at every moment, whose hairs stand on end, while tears flow uncontrolled from his closed eyes, in great longing, with great respect, even today, holds on his head this water, thinking this is the foot water from the deity of our family. This is the foot water of our worshipable deity. Thinking thus, Dhruva always worships the waters of Ganga and keeps those waters on top of his head. This is Dhruva's attachment towards the Lord and Lord's Tadiya. It's like that. On Dhruvaloka, Dhruva with a determined vow, his heart softened by Bhakti Yoga, becoming better at every moment, whose hair stand on end while pure tears of love flow uncontrollably from his closed lotus eyes out of great longing, takes the water on his head. Put the water on his head. Then what? After passing through Loka, the water comes to Saptarishi Mandal, the place where Saptarishis are situated. The 7 great sages, aware of the influence of the water of Ganga, ignoring all other goals, because of their continuous Bhakti Yoga to the all-pervading Supreme Lord Vasudeva, thinking this is the perfection of our austerities. To this day, they respectfully keep Ganga water in their metal locks as much as persons desiring liberation respect liberation. The Saptarishi thinking that what else we want other than the Charnamrita of Lord's lotus feet? This is the perfection of all our austerities. Today we are blessed with the mercy of the Supreme Lord. They collect the water, put it on their head. Keeping that water on the head is as good as keeping the lotus feet of the Lord on their head. No difference. That is the feeling of the Saptarishis. They think there is no greater perfection than this. By having attained Bhakti Yoga, they reject Atma Jnana and other goals of human endeavor. This is Sri Swami's explanation of Upekshita Anyartha Atmagateya. Then, after purifying the 7 planets near Dhruvaloka, the 7 planets are Saturn, Seven planets, huh?
Where is 7?
7, 9. Actually, 7 stars, the Saptarishis. Tato Aneka Sahasra Koti Vaimana Sangha. Actually, 7 planets. It is supposed to be after purifying the Saptarishis, the 7 stars. The Ganga's water carried on the path through the heavens, Deva Yanena, by throngs of celestial airplanes, inundate the moon, and finally reaches Lord Brahma's abode atop Mount Meru. After passing through Dhruvaloka, then passing through Saptarishi Mandal, they will pass through the entire heaven, then Bhuvarloka, then they inundate the entire moon, then they come to the top of Mount Meru. In the middle of the top of Mount Meru is Brahma's abode. There the water comes. Deva Yanana means the path in the sky. Below the 7 sages, the places are filled with those who perform Karma Yoga. Thus, Tata indicates below, lower down, and Sankala indicates the many Karma Yogis who attained Bhuvarloka or Swargaloka as a result of their pious activities. Flooding the moon planet, the Ganga descends to the top of abode of Brahma, situated on top of Mount Meru. On top of Mount Meru, the Ganga divides into 4 branches, east, west, north, south. Each of which flows in a different direction. These branches are known Sita, Alakananda, Chakshu, and Bhadra. Flow down to the saltwater ocean. After passing through all the Varshas in Jambhudvipa, they go to the saltwater ocean surrounding Jambhudvipa.
पहले जाता है इधर.
Wait. I'll show you the image after a couple of slides later. When all the text is over, all this information is there in that 2 slides, the image. That time you will. So basically, Ganga entered into our universe. First comes to Satyaloka. Lord Brahma collected the water, washed the feet of the Lord. It became known as Bhagavadpati. Then passes through Janaloka, Tapaloka, Maharloka, or Maharloka, Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, and Maharloka. Then comes down to the Dhruloka, then Saptarishi Mandal, then Sargaloka, then Chandraloka, then to the top of Mount Meru. After touching the top of Mount Meru, it goes into 4 directions. It divides into 4 streams. And that 4 streams drops down from the top of Mount Meru, comes down and passes through the different Varshas of Jambhudvipa. Then finally enters into saltwater ocean. So like that. On the top of Mount Meru, the Ganga divides into 4 branches and they are known as Sita, Alakananda, Chakshu, and Bhadra. After coming down, they flow into ocean. The branch of Ganga, known as Sita, flowing from Brahmapuri atop Mount Meru, runs down to the nearby peaks of the Kesarachala mountain and from there to the peak of Gandhamadana mountain. It then flows into the land of Bhadrashvarsha. Finally, it reaches the ocean of salt water in the east. So this peak, this stream jumps from the top of Mount Meru, comes down, falls on the Gandhamadana mountain, then enters into Bhadrashvarsha, passing through Bhadrashva, enters into saltwater ocean. Because the mountains similar to filaments are the same height as Meru, the water first, after leaving Meru, first falls on the main peaks of the Kesarachala range, then falls on the top of Gandhamadana mountain, then from the mountain, Sita flows down, skipping over the Ilavurta and falls into Bhadrashvarsha. Gandhamadana mountain range separates Bhadrashva from Ilavurta. The branch of Ganga known as Chakshu, falling from the summit of Malevan mountain, cascades into Ketumala Varsha with uninterrupted force and enters into ocean of salt water in the west. Then, the branch of Ganga known as Bhadra, which is going to the north side, flowing from the northern side of Mount Meru, falls onto the peaks of Keshara mountain, then Neela mountain, jumps to Shweta mountain, then jumps to Shungavan mountain, then it runs down into the province of Kuru Varsha and flows into the saltwater ocean in the north. Similarly, in the southern side, the branch of Ganga known as Alakananda, flowing from the southern side of Brahmapuri, passing over top of mountain in the way in various lands, Kesarachala and Nishada, and then Hemakuta, and then finally Himakuta, and then falls into Bharatavarsha, passing through entire Bharatavarsha, enters into the saltwater ocean in the south. It is very difficult. It is not very difficult for persons who bathe in this river water to achieve with every place the results of performing great sacrifice like Rajashri and Ashwamedha. Whoever takes bath in this Ganga, they attain the piety of performing Rajashri sacrifice, Ashwamedha sacrifice. Skipping over the 3 Varshas, the Alakananda falls from the peak to peak. This sentence should be understood. Bharatam Adi Varsham should mean falling to Bharata Varsha. The 4 rivers skipping over many Varshas flow down from the mountain range, bordering the Varshas near the ocean onto the earth, and then with the bowed head enter the ocean, their husband giving up pride. Finally, this is the last verse, then we'll show the pictures. Many other rivers, big and small, daughters of Meru and other mountains, flow to various tracts of land in hundreds of branches. You see here. When Lord Vamana made a crack in the universal shell, the causal ocean enters into our universe. First come to Satyaloka. Lord Brahma collected the water, washed the feet of the Lord. Then it became Bhagavadpati. Then it passes through Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Maharloka. Then comes to Dhruvaloka. Here Dhruva Maharaj collect the water, keeps and and worship the Lord. And it became known as Vishnupati. Then it goes to Saptarishi Mandal. Then comes to Chandraloka. Then finally comes to the top of Mount Meru. From the Mount Meru, it goes in 4 directions. The first one goes in the east and comes down, falls in Jambhudvipa and goes towards right, enters into saltwater ocean. The next one, Chakshu, goes into the western side, passes through Jambhudvipa, enters into saltwater ocean. Third one is Bhadra, goes in the northern side, enters into saltwater ocean. The fourth one is Bharat Alakananda, passes through the entire Jambhudvipa in the southern side and enters into saltwater ocean. These are the 4 streams of Ganga. Now you see, as it is coming from the top, it falls into the Brahmapuri, then goes in 4 directions. So it flows through all the different places in the east, in the west, in the north, in the south. It covers through all these different places. From the Mount Meru, it touches peaks of the Keshrachala, then nearby mountain, then land, mountain, land, like that. Wait. You see these slides, then we will take questions. Okay, like this. So now you see, it falls on this Gandhamadana mountain, then goes through Bhadrashva and then saltwater ocean. It falls on the first mountain, jumps to the second mountain, jumps to third mountain, then enters into Bharatavarsha, goes to saltwater ocean. Malevan. It falls on this mountain, jumps here, and goes down Purvarsha and then enters into ocean. That it means when the water is falling from here, some water might fall before the mountain, might go to Laurtavarsha. Some water might fall after the mountain, they'll go to Harivarsha. But that water which fell on top of the mountain will jump. Yes or no? There's a bouncing principle. And then from that, some water might fall before the Hemakuta mountain, some water might fall after the Hemakuta mountain, but that water which falls on top of the Hemakuta mountain, that again jumps. Some water fell before Hemakuta, some fell after Hemakuta, but those water which fell on the Hemakuta, eventually already those jumps हो गए, बाद में उतना jump नहीं होगा, but धीरे they'll pass through entire Bharatavarsha and then enter into Garbhodak ocean. And this is known as not Garbhodak ocean, this is saltwater ocean. And this river is known as Alakananda. So this is how Ganga going in all different directions. Yes, Prabhu. What are your questions? थोड़ा बहुत जाएगा, but उतना बड़ा ज्यादा नहीं. Main big streams won't go because when the water falling from the top, na, some of that might go inside. Some spilled water.
And it makes, when it goes to different varshas, it makes another rivers, streams of rivers. Or
it may make, but this is the mainstream. It is called Alakananda or Bhadra throat.
What is the distance between the Gandhamadana mountain and the Meru mountains? First point of contact, 9,000.
You understand? The total is 34. 34 minus 16. Now, upper 32 is there, niche 34 is there. This mountain upper 32. And here to here 34. There are 2 differences. Some water will fall inside, some water fall on top of them, some water will go here. So when the water is coming, it won't fall like that. It will go ahead and fall like this. Because it is coming from the top of the universe, it is very fast. Since it is coming from outside Kazal ocean, that's why Ganga is very fast. ऊपर से नीचे गिरता है ना, इसलिए उसका हाइट ज्यादा है, स्पीड ज्यादा है. Okay? Huh?
Each varsha, they have their deities, the one who is ruling.
Yeah, will be there. Each varsha has different people living there, and they have their worshipful deity. They offer prayers unto those deities. That will be the topic of the next chapter. This chapter, Ilavad Varsha, is being presented. Next 2 chapters will talk about different deities in different varshas.
और एक आया था प्रोजेक्ट मतलब ट्रांसलेशन में कि ह्यूमन बींग्स आर आल्सो देयर समवेयर आल्सो सो मतलब मैं ये था कि only in भारतवर्ष देयर आर ह्यूमन बींग्स
In Bharatavarsha there are human beings. Other places they are human-like beings. They are kind of devata-like beings.
okay they are also referred as human beings
Not exactly human being, but they are devata-like beings. A kind of lesser category of devatas. Those who live in these places. So it's like that. So what kind of beings will be living? Will come in the 11th verse onwards. Currently, mainly, since Ganga is coming from the top of the universe, passing to different lokas, and it is flowing all over Jambhudvipa. That's why the Ganga's flow is explained in this section.
All the mountains are able to actually take up that kind of force and pass it on.
Mountains can take. The
It's
mountain.
like a single stream, it's not again.
No, single stream. Okay, any other question?
So is there any explanation which is going to come in future with respect to the role of Bhagirath, how he actually is?
You tell me, what did Bhagirath Maharaj do? What did he do?
He prayed so that it can come on to the Sagara.
So,
Sagara.
कभी रामायण पढ़ा नहीं? पढ़ा क्या? कब? बचपन में? भूल गए क्या?
In Sagara King, his sons they actually become ashes. There also.
Why they became ashes?
Because they are cursed by Kapila Muni.
Cursed by Kapila Muni? Why Lord Kapila curses? Why did he curse? Did he curse?
they attack
So curse करेंगे.
curse मतलब they not curse they मतलब he burned their bodies
when they were about to come and attack the ashram.
So blame came from us.
You
Out of anger, their bodies were burnt to ashes. So for their deliverance, the descendants, every descendant tried to.
Third generation of this
उसके पहले आती विष्णु
ninth canto.
Yeah, this entire pastime comes in 9th canto also, but in great detail it is explained in the Balakanda, Ramayana. Vishwamitra tells all the story to Lord Ram and Lakshman when he was taking them for killing Maricha Subhahu Tataka.
And especially this Gandhamadana and Bhadrashva it is quite evident that the Ganga is coming and it is straight forward is going into the ocean. Whereas on the southern and the northern directions, it is actually crossing the mountains. So Ganga. How it is actually going upstream and crossing the mountain and then again going and crossing.
कभी देखा नहीं? कभी any reservoir event, hydel power plant event, Srisailam, Nagarjuna Sagar?
No, movies are some.
Movies नहीं, hydel power plant. Very problem.
Correct.
Water bounces when it is falling from the top. It bounces and again falls. It again bounces and falls.
So it doesn't touch the ground.
No,
Bouncing मतलब क्या? Touching the ground, no, it bounces.
हाँ बराबर है but.
Then it's not explained with respect to Bhadrashva.
There also bounces. The bouncing होने के बाद भी किधर गए? उधर दूसरा mountain है ही नहीं. तो उधर गिर जाएगा पानी नीचे गिर जाएगा. Bounce होने के बाद भी इधर ही थोड़ा देर के बाद गिर जाएगा आगे जाएगा. Here the water is falling before this mountain also, after this mountain also, but we are not focused on that. That water which falls before mountain will be inside Illavartha Varsha. That water which falls after this mountain will be in the Hari Varsha. But only that water which fall on top of this mountain which bounces, that will be on top of this Kimpurusha Varsha. उसमें भी ऐसा गारंटी नहीं सब वाटर इतना दूर कुछ जंप
तो
करेंगे,
पड़ता
कुछ
होगा।
आगे भी जाएगा, कुछ पीछे भी जाएगा. Only that water which fall on this mountain again jumps. So from that some water falls on top of this mountain, some water falls after the mountain. So they all come together and are doing the.
Yes, you're explaining Ramayana, Balakanda. There's a great explanation.
Why and how Bhagirath Maharaj again brought the Ganga to Patala. Is all explained. The 67 sons of Sagar Maharaj, they were searching after the last horse. Indra stole the horse for the 100 sacrifice. He took it to Patala Loka, kept it in the ashram of Lord Kapila. Somehow they went there. They thought it is Kapila who stole the horse. They found fault in Kapila. They wanted to kill him. They raised weapons. And the fire element in their body burnt them alive. But later on, their nephew, Amshuman, came there all the way. And he understood everything, what had happened. He begged forgiveness from Lord Kapila, then requested his permission to take the horse. Then he requested, please deliver my ankles. He said, no, you have to bring Ganga to deliver them. This Ganga, Alakananda appeared because of Lord Vamana. But Alakananda. But in due course of time, he disappeared in the Bharatavarsha. So then, what is his name? Amshuman. Amshuman performed severe austerities to bring Ganga down. He was failed. His son Dilip also performed austerities to bring Ganga down. He failed. And then finally, Bhagirath Maharaj performed austerities. Then Ganga agreed to come down. So Ganga agreed to come down to flow through Great Himalayas and 50 degrees and then.
उसके पहले तक उधर तक आके वो चला जा रहा था.
और थोड़ी देर के बाद even from there if it jumps also it falls in the land only ना. So land जो वाटर आगे बढ़ा है वो बाद में बढ़ा जो आगे जाएगा ना. बाउंसिंग भी कितना बार होता है? फिर बाल से केला क्या? ऐसा करो एक दिन दो छोटा दिन तीन छोटा चार सामने जाएगा आराम से.
But the water which is coming from the top, that is continuous. So bouncing also is continuous.
अरे कंटिन्यूस बाउंसिंग कितना दूर तक चलेगा? बाउंसिंग विल बी ओनली थोड़ी दूर तक रहेगा, बाद में वो फ्लैट हो जाएगा. It won't continuously bounce because water is heavy ना. Heavy object won't bounce for a long time. The ball is lightweight, it will do more bouncing. If the ball is heavyweight, it won't do more bouncing. It will fall immediately. After one or two bouncing, it will fall in the flat ground. So like that.
And then later on, by the will of Ganga Devi, it came from the Himalayas to. So how did that come?
By their worship.
Technically, not like the method from the diagram.
Diagram nahi. This Ganga from the greater Himalayas, this all disappears. In due course, this becomes now Saraswati is not there. Even the Ganga which we have now, it is said to be only for 10,000 years of Kali Yuga. 5,000 already completed. 5,000 more years it will be there. Afterwards, it will become invisible. Then later on in the next Satya Yuga, some devotee will pray again to Ganga. Then Ganga will re-manifest again. It is a continuous recurring process. Now Yamuna is almost extinct. Yamuna water आ रहा है क्या? ऊपर आ रहा है, but दिल्ली के बाद पानी कुछ नहीं आते हैं. Whatever water is there in Yamuna is all drainage water after Delhi. So धीरे धीरे वो भी बंद हो जाएगा. पूरा यमुना ड्राई हो जाएगा. So again later in next Satya Yuga somebody will pray, then again Yamuna again re-manifest. Like that Ganga now flowing very abundantly. After 5,000 years it will become dry. Then next year, next Kali Satya Yuga, some people will say, hey, aisa nahi, there should be Ganga here, we should pray for Ganga to come down. Then they pray, then Ganga comes down. Then every year it becomes prosperous. So like that. Ganga is said to be Rupantarena Vahati. Sometimes it is visible, it flows in a visible form. Sometimes it becomes invisible. Because as sinful people increases, it disappears. Then some pious devotee has to come in between and then re-bring Ganga again. So the second time Bhagirath Maharaj becoming successful, he brought the Ganga down. And since he brought it down, it became known as Bhagirathi. And while he was taking through Mayapur area, Janu Muni was performing austerities. His entire ashram was inundated by water. He became angry and swallowed the entire water. Then by the request of Bhagirath Maharaj, again he released the water from his ear. It became known as Jahnavi. So like the different names brought.
So Ganga is available only for Jambhudvipa,
Only for Jambhudvipa,
not for the other.
not for other Dvipas. And through Jambhudvipa, it goes down to saltwater ocean. From there, it goes down to Patala Lokas, all the 7 lower planet systems.
Oh, yeah.
Atala, Vitala, Sutala, it goes all the way down to Patala Loka. Yes. That's why Ganga is called 3 Loka Pavani. It purifies all the planetary systems in the entire universe.
When you go to the previous slide, the picture, before how it actually comes in the top. This one, observation. It is understood that all the top planetary systems are covered. And then it comes to the Mount Meru.
Mount Meru, yes. All, it passes through all the upper lokas, comes to Jambhudvipa. And after recording Jambhudvipa, it goes down and covers the lower planetary systems. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. All the 7 are covered.
So it gives us the understanding that above the Mount Meru are the different planetary systems.
This is on top of Mount Meru, it becomes 4 streams. In addition to that, there are so many small streams also. Their names are not mentioned.
Is there any mention of the width of these streams?
No mention. So now 11 to 14, that information which you talked about, who are living there, what kind of people are there, are they called humans or devatas, etc. will come in this section. Among the 9 varshas of Jambhudvipa, the tract of land known as Bharata Varsha is understood to be the field of karma. Bharata Varsha is known as Karma Kshetram or Karma Bhumi. And the remaining 8 varshas are known as heaven on earth, Bhauma-svarga Padani, places to enjoy the remainder of pious acts after leaving Svarga. Punya Shesha Upabhoga Sthanani Svarginam. For those people by their piety who goes to Svargaloka or Pitruloka or any other upper planetary systems, after spending their 90% of piety there, they'll come down. And first they take birth in the 8 varshas. And with from the remaining 10% of piety, they enjoy 9% of piety in these 10 varshas, 8 varshas. With the remaining 1% of piety, they then take birth in Bharata Varsha. These 8 varshas are intermediate transition places.
There is no fresh karma which they can actually do in the other varshas.
They can do, but generally it is not so much in comparison to Bharata Varsha. Bharata Varsha is specially meant for karma. That's why it is called Karma Bhumi. All other places, the Bhauma-svarga and all, they are meant for spending. For example, you are working in Mumbai. You are earning money. You saved your money. you go on excursion. When you go on excursion, do you earn some money or you spend money? Spend only, no? Not earning. So that is like when somebody goes to heaven, they only earn money. It's some interesting concept. When somebody performs piety, they'll be promoted to heaven. They will spend most of the pious credits there. Then with the remaining pious credits, they come to Bhauma-svarga. They enjoy there. Then they take birth in Bharatavarsha, where they can accumulate more and more piety. In generally, people who go to Svarga or Bhauma-svarga and all, they spend their piety. They are not so much focused on earning new piety. People can earn new piety also there. But one who goes on vacation, does he have any plan for that? So it's like that. That is how you can see. Generally, they spend, but some people who are specific about that want to go back to Godhead from there. So they may practice bhakti there seriously and then they go back to Godhead from there on. It's like that. From the people, from karma people point of view, this is the principle. From bhakti point of view, from Sarga also they may practice further bhakti and go back to Godhead. But karmis, they are going there to enjoy. After going there also, why they work hard? Kamatmana? Then what? Kamatmana Swargapara Janma Karma Falapadam Kriya Vishesha Baulam Bhogeshwarya Gatim Prati. For the sake of getting Bhoga and Aishwarya, they do lot of Kriyas here, lot of Yajnas here. After going there only, why will they do again Yajnas? Udhar enjoy karne ka. So like that. There are three types of Swargas in our universe. Heavenly, earthly and subterranean. Divya-svarga, Bhauma-svarga and Bila-svarga. Bharatavarsha is the field of karma. It is known as Karma Kshetram. Other 8 varshas are the heavenly places on earth. Bhauma-svarga, Padani. The Divya-svarga are Bhuvarloka and Svargaloka are combined together are Divya-svarga. Entire Bhuloka except Bharatavarsha is called Bhauma-svarga. And this Bharatavarsha. Entire Bhumandala is divided into 7 Dvipas. Out of 7, 1 Dvipa is Jambhudvipa. In that Jambhudvipa, there are 9 Varshas, out of which 1 Varsha is Bharatavarsha. Except Bharatavarsha, remaining Jambhudvipa and remaining 6 islands of the Bhumandala, they are all Bhauma-svarga. Svarga is the Bhu level. Bhuvarloka and Svargaloka are Svarga in the Divya level.
The other Dvipas are also called as
Bhauma-svarga, yes. They are also called as Bhauma-svarga. And then the 7 lower planetary systems, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatal, Patal, they are called Bila-svargas.
So piety, the results of piety can also be enjoyed there also.
But that is the place for punishments.
Kaun bola?
The Narakas.
Kaun bola?
That is what I have.
That's the problem. There is Naraka is different from the 7 lower planetary systems.
Okay.
7 lower planetary systems are known as Bila-svarga. All throughout the scripture, they are called Bila-svargas. Simply by definition, Svarga means a place with lot of opulences.
So it actually implies that all throughout the 14 planetary systems, there is Svarga except Bharatavarsha.
That is the right understanding. Why Jiva comes to material world?
Enjoy.
Enjoy के लिए specially होना चाहिए ना. So everywhere enjoyment is there. Enjoyment उसके लिए enjoyment होने के बाद वापस जाने का ना. वापस जाने के लिए भारतवर्ष. Enjoyment के लिए rest of the universe. अच्छा है ना?
And the pious people who are actually staying on this planet Earth, geographical planet Earth upon the modern conventions, then whatever they do, earn money, make business, everything, it is also like an expenditure only. Even after remnants, the traces, what they actually get here, even they are actually utilizing that for expenditure on vacation only.
Yes.
Instead of creating, they are thinking it as a vacation.
Yes. Because they are earning gross money. That gross money belongs to this place. That will be spent here only. If they are earning subtle punya, that will take them to Swargaloka. Subtle punya is not gross money. Subtle punya comes by giving charity. If you give charity, you will not have any gross money to enjoy. You are earning money, giving it in charity. You are not enjoying today. The money is meant for your enjoyment, but you are not enjoying today. Instead, you are giving it to somebody else. The enjoyment is still there. It will go through compound interest. And the next life, you will be taken to Swarga. There you will be given enjoyment, which is along with the compound interest of the money which you have spent in charities. So like
That means the billionaires now, for example,
Ah.
they are giving charity. They are earning in billions, but they are keeping little bit for themselves.
remaining all they are giving
They are
charity,
giving charity
for which they get benefit in the next life. They will be promoted to heaven. वहाँ पे उनका इक्वल नहीं उसका इंटरेस्ट के साथ उसका उनके इंटरेस्ट के साथ उनका मिलता है. So it's like that. अच्छा है ना?
इसका calculations पूरी कैसे?
बड़ा gambling है.
हाँ?
बड़ा gambling है.
It's not gambling, it is natural. When you do something, you are supposed to get result. Yes or
Gambling
no?
in the sense, hankering for material pleasure.
Hmm.
For that, one would.
For Nishkam
In
karma,
Kali Yuga, even people are not even aware of this fact.
Kali Yuga, people don't worry about Swarga and all. They are only worried about going to America. Let me go to America and enjoy as much as possible because there is a lot of money, lot of enjoyment, lot of freedom. So that is Swarga for them. For Kali Yuga people.
For those people, for example, they do Nishkam karma not in relationship with Supreme Lord. Means they have the attitude of service. So they give money and they don't want to enjoy also.
Even though you don't want to enjoy, since because you have given in charity, you will be sent to Swarga.
And their consciousness changes, Prabhuji. Their
Karma does not actually make us conscious.
नहीं उसका यहाँ पे तो consciousness वैसा है ना उसमें वहाँ
Here they are selfless. वहाँ पे भी selfless रहेगा. They will live in the midst of opulences, but they are selfless. Are you getting?
So consciousness they will carry.
Consciousness is mentality. The mentality is based on our training. Whatever way we are training ourselves, that like that it comes.
So for them it is the beginning. For it's one step to go back home, back to God. No, it's good. He at least beginning may not be this lifetime, but in future lifetimes they will.
And the Sukriti, what Balaram was talking today, that has nothing in connection with all these ladders.
Which ladders?
Like accumulating punya, going to a particular planet, coming and.
See, actually, that is required. Without that, Sukriti will not come. Because
Devotional Sukriti, which she was
so no, when somebody had the mentality of giving away something to others, among the receivers, sometimes there will be a devotee. Then it becomes Sukriti. If it is received by normal people, it is Punya. If it is received by devotee, it becomes Sukriti. If you don't have the mentality of giving something, how will you gain Sukriti? If you don't have mentality of serving others, how will we gain Sukriti? When we have the mentality of serving others, so we serve 99 normal people. The 100th one will be devotee by good chance. Then that becomes Sukriti. If that attitude is not there, we don't serve anybody. So how can we gain Sukriti? So that attitude is important. Though apparently, as I said, it could be Nishkama karma only. But that Nishkama karma, by nature it's selfless. It itself provides a proper avenue where one will be able to serve a sadhu. Unknowingly, that becomes Ajna Sukriti. If service attitude is not there, पूरा selfish रहेगा. Devotee आने के बाद भी सेवा नहीं करेगा. So क्या सुकृति मिलेगा? So we cannot dismiss completely that karma Nishkama karma mentality. That attitude is good. That attitude acts as a vehicle so that one can reach sadhu very easily. Are you getting? So it's not wrong. One is doing selflessly, charities and all these things. But still one may be promoted to Svarga, but the mentality itself will bring one close to that good opportunity of serving sadhu. Once in a while.
Acharya, they are given destroying all these things, rejecting all the Hindi question.
People like him.
Acharya will-
So now, by definition, Swarga means a opulent place. But why there is a distinction, Divya Swarga, Bhauma-svarga, Swarga? This distinction is based on the modes, the attitudes of the people there. Divya Swarga is meant for the Devatas, where the people are generally in the mode of goodness. Though they have all the opulences, but they use all the opulences for the service of the Supreme Lord. They have opulences, they use, but they are not too attached to the opulences. Okay. In Bhauma-svarga, the people use the opulences for the service of the Supreme Lord and then for their own enjoyment because they are the mode of passion. Bhauma-svarga is predominantly by mode of passion. They use, okay, Bhavan Seva ke liye bhi, mere liye bhi. And in Bila-svarga, there is no, they are in the mode of ignorance. There is no concept of serving the Lord. Sab mere liye, sab mere liye, mere liye, mere liye, mere liye. This is the difference. Either be opulence, either be opulence, either opulence. But the person's mentality is different. Here it is meant for service, serving the Lord. It is for the Lord as well as for me. It is only for me. This is the difference in these two lokas.
The varieties of enjoyments are different in all these two circles.
हो सकता है. Person mode is different, na? Sataguni person, for example, taking eating habit. Eating, if you consider eating to be enjoyment, what kind of enjoyment Sataguni person will have in the case of eating? Rajoguni person will have in the case of eating. Tamoguni person have in the case of eating. Different, na? All three are eating only. Eating itself is an enjoyment activity. But what they eat is different. Tamoguni person might want only liquor and meat. Rajoguni person might want the fried items, spicy items. Satoguni person might want sweet items. Shuddhasasa person might want prasadam only. So like that. It varies. Sub eating hai, but kya eat, what you are eating is different. These 8 varshas are the places to enjoy the remainder of pious activities after leaving Divya Swarga. Swarginam Punya Sheshu Bhavoga Sthanani. First they go to Swarga, they enjoy most of the piety, then come down to Bhauma-svarga, they enjoy the remaining piety, then they take birth in Bharata Varsha. But for those people who are adamant to become Asuras, they will be sent to Bila-swarga. But even the Asuras also do some charities. Chapter 17, Bhagavad Gita, what is the title?
Diligence of faith.
Sanskrit title? श्रद्धा को विभाग करने का. कितना विभाग? Shraddha Taraya Vibhaga Yoga. Faith in the mode of goodness, faith in the mode of passion, faith in the mode of ignorance. The chapter only talks about 4 things. The food in the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. Yajna Dana Tapa in the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. There is Dhana in the mode of goodness, Dana in the mode of passion, Dana in the mode of ignorance. Dana itself is a good activity. But the person in the mode of ignorance, what kind of charity gives? Selfish charity. Because he has given charity, the charity will promote him to Swarga. But he is giving charity in the mode of ignorance. He will be promoted to that Swarga which is in the mode of ignorance. Bila Swargas. A person in the mode of passion gives charity in the mode of passion. He will be promoted to that places where there is heaven in the mode of passion. Those people who give charity in the mode of goodness, they will be promoted to that heaven where the place in the mode of goodness. So like that.
So Divya Swarga, it is the Devi Devatas where
stay. Gorloka and Swargaloka. That is with Divya Swarga.
So they will live like with in the association of demigods.
Yes. They will be in the association of Devatas. In these 8 varshas, human beings live like devatas. Human beings like devatas live for 10,000 years according to earthly calculations. Whoever born in all these 8 varshas, their lifespan is 10,000 years fixed. Jada bhi nahi, kam bhi nahi. They have the bodily strength of 10,000 elephants, strong. They have wives who conceive once in the last year of their lives. They only beget children in their last year, that too only once, not many times. After sexual enjoyment of the couples, excited by the thunderbolt bodies possessing strength, youth, and fragrance, there the happiness is like that of the Treta Yuga. The people in Bhauma-svarga, they experience the happiness of Treta Yuga. They live for 10,000 years by human calculation. They have wives who conceive once in the last year of their life. They have thunderbolt bodies possessing strength of 10,000 elephants, youth and fragrance. Because of the amount of material enjoyment, it is like Treta Yuga. Because of the amount of material enjoyment, it is like Treta Yuga. Since in Satya Yuga, everyone is fixed in meditation. And in Dwapara and Kali, there is more suffering. In Satya Yuga, people are into tapasya. What are the method recommended for Satya Yuga? Meditation. They are into meditation. Treta Yuga, by performing yajna, what comes? Prosperity. Yes or no?
Yes.
Prosperity means enjoyment. So in that way it is said. So the people in these 8 varshas, they experience the happiness of Treta Yuga. There, the chiefs of the devatas, their glances and minds attracted by the playful glances of the smiles of beautiful women, because of their desire, amuse themselves freely with ingredients supplied by their followers in pastimes such as water sports in clear lakes, resounding with the sounds of various groups of bees, swans, water hens, cranes, and caravandas, excited by the fragrance of the variety of blooming lotuses, growing in valleys between the mountains, which have hermitages and pleasant gardens, splendid with trees and creepers, whose branches are bent down by the abundance of fruits and flowers of all the seasons. What kind of facility they have is mentioned. The entire area surrounded by water lakes, gardens, flower trees, fruit trees, bumblebees, birds, chirping birds, and they enjoy with their wives in the lakes by sporting different games. This is how they pass their 10,000 years in amusement.
Question, for example, जो सती जाते थे, earlier women, they used to, so usually they used to go with their husbands in this planet. So
no, they actually go to Svarga, means Svarga. After enjoying there, while coming down to Bharata Varsha, they come here and enjoy here.
So they will be the same couple, kind of.
Same couple. Same couple. They'll be same.
Both same Jivatmas. ये प्रश्न था क्योंकि when they go to Sati, they used to go to heavenly planets. No,
इनके लिए सती किया ना,
हाँ,
उनके प्रति जो प्रेम था उसके वजह से किया था, सो उनके साथ ही रहेगा बाद में भी. किसी और के साथ जाए तो कैसे होगा? इनके लिए सती किया, किसी और के साथ जाएगा तो कैसे होगा? It's not.
लेकिन वो कितना दूर तक रहता है से? As long as the partner wants, it will be like that. ऐसे है क्या?
They say 7 lifetimes.
That is a शास्त्रिक thing.
7 lifetimes on मतलब.
It's okay, Prabhuji. Here, there, everything put together 7 lifetimes. 7 lifetimes are there only, they say. But in between also they will be together only.
It means if people are getting married, they are almost locked for 7 lifetimes.
If there is attachment.
Okay.
Not just like that. If they love each other to that extent, then it is together. If they hate, क्यों रहेंगे? इधर ही नहीं रहते, बाहर के बाद में क्यों रहते? So it is like that. See, she is committing sati means you understand sati is not ordinary thing.
Very great attachment.
But then obviously they should be together. If they are not together, then sati has no meaning. अभी उनके लिए सती कर रहे हैं, किसी और के लिए नहीं. तो उनके साथ ही रहना चाहिए. 7 lifetimes is nothing in that case.
Yes.
So it's like that. But those who are doing sati is not out of material attachment, not out of bodily attachment. It is actually genuine love. Otherwise, why would they do sati? If the attachment is in the bodily platform, they don't do sati. The attachment is really soul to soul connection. Huh?
Krishna consciousness.
Soul to soul, Baba.
Soul to soul.
Emotional.
Soul to Paramatma is soul to super soul is Krishna consciousness.
So
Soul to soul is affection between two jivas. Why not?
When after performing Nishkam Karmi Yoga,
Ah,
one will
Sati.
be self-realized
ah,
and then soul to soul.
ah.
Mhm.
Nishkama Karma Yoga, to practice itself, there should be understanding of soul.
Yes.
Without understanding soul concept, they cannot practice Nishkama Karma Yoga.
That is
Then हो गया ना, अभी soul to soul relationship में ना, जीवन भर निष्काम कर्म योगा किया. So और क्या? Soul understanding तो किया था, body understanding नहीं.
So the Bible statement which says the after death you will go to heavens with your family. So that is true. That can suggest to
Yes.
provided affection.
right affection is there. That means they live in their family. That is true.
Okay.
Husband, मतलब engineering student married. Husband studied nicely, a wife medium. So as a result of that, husband applied for job in US. He gets job. Will he go alone, or his wife also can go along with him?
Wife also.
Because he's married, na? Both will go. If even one acquires piety, wife also will get that part of that. That's why our wife is called Ardhangi. Whatever piety husband collects, half of that will be given to wife. So both are entitled to experience the piety. That's why even if husband is not qualified, if wife commits sutta sati, by the piety of the wife, both husband and wife will go to Swarga. Either case it is.
So if husband is Krishna conscious. So if the wife, for example, if Tukaram Maharaj, for example, just taking the point of. So the wife of Tukaram Maharaj will have the same advantage.
That's what Tukaram Maharaj told, na? Well, boarding the airplane, please come. She did not come. But later on, she went back to Godhead. That's what our devotees say. After completing her lifetime, then she went back to Godhead. No, that is either one can go immediately or little late, but it will be there. But provided they have attachment for the devotee, she has attachment for her husband. She might say so many things because he is not earning livelihood and all, but she has that chastity towards her husband. So that will do the needful. So when he is there, she might be scolding him. In his absence, she might be remembering him always. No? Throughout the rest of the life, she might be remembering him only. That's all. Maranukta Kalayaram. She was thinking about her husband also. Fine. Husband is spiritual, she will go to there. So like that. There, of course, yeah. These are all the facilities. These verses give the description of what kind of facilities they have, what kind of enjoyment they will be having there. That's why I said these places are generally meant for enjoyment. Even though if they want to earn more karma, the facilities are so attractive to enjoy. So why would they? Yeah. So it's like that. There, the heads of the devatas play freely. The valleys between the mountains have hermitages and pleasant gardens, splendid with the trees and creepers, whose branches are bent down by the abundance of fruits, flowers of all seasons. The water resounds with groups of various species of bees, swans, and various other birds. Everything is fully abundant, greenery, nice, soothing environment, pleasing environment. So why would not they enjoy? They would obviously have the desire to enjoy. To show mercy to his devotees, in each of these 9 tracts of land, the great Lord known as Narayana remains near his devotees in various forms. As you mentioned, are they worshipping the deities, what they are doing, etc. etc. In general, people are enjoying. Here in this Bhauma-svarga, there are 2 categories of people. There are original residents, there are visitors. Like Native Americans and tourists who go to America for what is that? Visa? Visiting visa. Huh? Visiting visa, something like that.
Traveling actually.
Not business visa, but
Not resident visa.
but visiting visa, just an trip, typically. Yeah. So they go and enjoy and come back. But the locals, they keep doing their respected services, and then they get the whatever they get. The locals serving the Lord. Now what we are going to discuss is all about locals. The local people will be serving the Lord. The visitors will be busy with all this enjoyment. Of course, local people also have all the facilities for enjoyment. They may also appear to be enjoying, but within the core of the mind, they will also serve the Lord. So, in all these 9 Varsha, there are 9 deities being worshipped by the 9 local personalities. Especially the leader is engaged in worshipping the deity, and others support him. But the visitors, they are just busy in enjoying. Like Chaupati temple, the resident brahmacharis and main congregation devotees, they come here to serve. All the weekly visitors, they come here, they take darshan, come down, go in the stall, they have some panipuri, and enjoy and go. It's like that. To show his mercy means to continue showing his mercy. For that purpose, he remains present in various forms. It should be understood that these precedent deities of the various varshas are deity forms of the Lord. This is described in Prahlada's prayers in 5.18.8. Here, there are no personal forms of the Lord. They are all deities. The leaders in all these places, they are actually worshipping the deities of their Ishtadev. Here is a summary of all those places. In Ilavrta Varsha, Lord Shiva is residing, the leader of that Ilavrta Varsha. He is worshipping Lord Sankarshana. In Bhadrashrava Varsha, Bhadrashrava is residing. He is worshipping Lord Hayagriva. In Hari Varsha, Prahlad Maharaj is residing now. He is worshipping Lord Narsimha's deity. In Ketumala Varsha, goddess of fortune with Prajapati Samvasara's children, 360 daughters, 360 sons. She is worshipping Lord Pradyumna, who is also known as Lord Kamadeva. There is one Prajapati whose name is Samvasara.
He is nothing but Lord Vishnu.
No, he is not Lord Vishnu. Goddess of fortune is staying there in this Ketumala Varsha. She had made friends with the 360 sons and 360 daughters of Prajapati Samvasara. Daksha Prajapati is there, na? Like that, there is a Prajapati whose name is Samvasara. He is the deity of the year. His sons are the deities of the days. His daughters are the deities of the nights, present deities of the nights and days. With their help, she serves Lord Kandarpa. She is serving her husband, Lord Pradyumna. In Rameka Varsha, the current Vaivashya 7th Manu is currently staying there. He is worshipping Lord Matsya. Because Vaivashya Manu in his previous life, he was King Satyavrata. He was saved by Lord Matsya. Since then, he became the devotee of Lord Matsya. He is serving him now. And he is going to stay in this Varsha till the end of the current Manvantara. So it's like that.
Generally, where does the Manu stay?
Here, Rameka Varsha.
Always, every Manu.
So, while ruling, he will stay in Bharata Varsha. In Vanaprastha order, he will stay in Rameka Varsha. Currently, he is in Vanaprastha order. They rule from Bharata Varsha only. All the monarchs rule from Bharata Varsha only. Bharata Varsha is the main capital for the entire Bhumandala. Because it is Karma Bhumi. Hiranmaya Varsha. Aryama is staying here. He is worshipping Lord Kurma. Kuru Varsha. Bhudevi. She is worshipping her husband Lord Varaha. The Bhumi personified, Bhumandala personified is residing in Kuru Varsha. In Kimpurusha Varsha, Hanumanji, Sugriva, and all the monkeys who assisted Lord Ram in Ramayan, they are all staying here currently. They are worshipping Lord Ram, Lord Ram's deity. In Bharata Varsha, Narada Muni is worshipping Lord Naranarayan Rishi. Nararayan Rishi are performing in the Himalayas, and Narada Muni is there and is worshipping Nararayan Rishi constantly. Because Bharata Varsha is the field of Bhakti, where Bhakti can be practiced very easily. And Bhakti is the service of Narada Muni, the teacher of Bhakti. So he stays in Bharata Varsha. He is the leader of Bharata Varsha people. Because it is his duty to make sure that people in Bharata Varsha should practice Bhakti. He and his empower representatives, they come and distribute Bhakti to one and all. So Bharata Varsha leader is Narada Muni. Louder, louder.
वर्षा है उसका एक हर वर्ष में एक माउंटेन है.
हर वर्ष में माउंटेन नहीं, हर वर्ष का बाउंड्री में एक माउंटेन.
बाउंड्री में माउंटेन. So presiding deity means one who is worshipped. For example, the Narayan Rishi is the worshipable deity there in Bharat Varsha. Narada Muni is presided by, मतलब कैसे?
किधर presided by?
For example, presided by लिखा है ना?
Okay, presided by मतलब he is the leader of that place. Narada Muni is the leader of Bharata Varsha. Lord Shiva is the leader of Bharata Varsha. Bhadrashva is the leader of Bhadrashva Varsha. Prahlad Maharaj is the leader of Varsha. That area belongs to him. Presided by, if this entire LNHO 7 km Munshi Marg is presided by Sri Sri Radha Gopinath. This place belongs to him. And he is the worshipful deity here.
Presiding deity is, for example, Radha Gopinath.
वो टेक्निकल छोड़ दो बाबा, आप इतना वो सब छोड़ दो, टेक्निकल टर्म छोड़ दो. जो मेरा मन में लिखा था, in this place there could be thousands of people. Among them, the place is, the leader of all the people is Prahlad Maharaj. Here, Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Mandir, the worshipable deity are Sri Sri Radha Gopinath. But this place is presided by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He is the leader of this place. So like that. So Narada Muni is the leader of Bharata Varsha. Hanumanji and Sugriva is leader of Kimpurusha Varsha. Prahlada is leader of Hari Varsha. He is the principal devotee in that place. So like that. Forget about the technical details. Presided deity, presided by all those, don't worry. So these are all deities are worshipped in all these places by the leader of that place. Whoever is the leader of that place, they are worshipping the Lord continuously. Okay, we'll stop now. We'll continue after break. प्रसादम लेने के बाद